Bera. Congressman, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Hallie, thanks for having me on.
You just stepped out of the deposition, or you're about to step into it? Clarify that for me.
Yeah, I just stepped out, and I'll be stepping back into it. So,
tell me what your thoughts are so far and what you've heard from Alex Vindman.
You know, you saw his opening statement that you had in your hands there. This is someone who is without impunity. He served America. Yes, he fled from Russia, and he's an immigrant, but he has that love of country. He was injured serving in Iraq. He's a Purple Heart recipient. So for any of my colleagues on the Republican side to try to smear his reputation, that's just not fair. And, you saw what Fox News did last night. It seems like that's their strategy here. And this guy is a patriot. He's been injured serving our country, defending our country. And for anyone to smear his career and his record really is reprehensible.
Take me inside the room. Has he begun answering questions yet? Who else is there? Your colleagues, I assume, on the other side of the aisle as well have showed up, as we've seen in the past. Give me a little bit of insight into that.
The process is just getting underway. And as Chairman Schiff has been consistent with, this is a fair process. There's Republicans in the room, Democrats in the room, mostly staff led by counsel, but each side gets an hour to start with to question, and it's equally divided, and the members can ask the questions that they want to ask.
What questions do you have now that you've seen Lieutenant Colonel Vindman's opening statement? He's presumably reading it inside the room. I imagine that's when you stepped out, right? He was delivering that statement. So what questions do you have for him moving forward?
He fills in a lot of details. Republicans have complained that there wasn't anyone who had firsthand knowledge of the call. Well, in his opening statement that you have right there, he was on that call. He was in meetings with Ambassador Sondland. Ambassador Sondland's memory wasn't that great. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman fills in some of these details, and we might have to get Ambassador Sondland back in to see if his memory is a little fresher now.
What about John Bolton, the former national security advisors? How are the negotiations going with your committee and others to get Bolton in here?
Well, we definitely would want to see John Bolton, right? Lieutenant Colonel Vindman talks about respecting the chain of command. He reported it up to Dr. Fiona Hill. She reported to John Bolton. And, we ought to get him in there. And at the end of the day, this is about getting to the truth. What happened? What happened around this call? What happened in withholding that aid to Ukraine? And again, there's a lot here.
There's this vote that's set to happen later in the week, as you know, to move forward with this impeachment inquiry. The White House, as you know, I cover the White House in my day job during the day, says this is an admission that Democrats, in their view, have been conducting an unauthorized inquiry. Are they right?
Oh, not at all. What we're doing is we're doing an investigation. We're taking depositions and interviews, collecting facts. I'm glad that, Chairman Schiff, Speaker Pelosi are moving in a direction where we can bring the public in. And what you have to do is set the rules of how do you share information, how do you make the transcripts available, which committee is going to be in charge and take the lead. And this is a rules-based organization. So what this resolution will do is lay out that process going forward. And again, I think it is all of our intent to do as much as we can publicly.
Congressman, before I let you go, to be extremely clear, when it comes to Alex Vindman, the president is alleging that he is a never-Trumper, if you will. What evidence have you seen, if any, to support that? Or do you believe that conservatives are simply out over their skis?
I think they're out over their skis. I have not seen any evidence that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman is anything but a patriot who loves this country. In his the testimony that you have right there, the opening statement, he talks about not wanting to get into politics, but wanting to be a patriot.
Congressman Bera, thank you very much for being on with us. I'll let you get back inside the room. We're going to check